Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. UFC Fight Night, Emmett versus Murphy just ended, and this was like probably the worst card I've ever sat through. Even worse than Tyra versus Perez, which I remember like it was the first card that I ever streamed, and people were saying like, "Oh, you chose to do your first stream on like the worst card." Wow, this one was so much worse. It was so bad that it makes me feel like I almost like, am I manifesting this? Because I've been talking with my friends about how like the UFC is kind of like falling off a little bit. I don't know. It just seems that Dana doesn't care. It's kind of showing, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe like I'm not exact. Okay, let's just begin to go over it. Okay, first fight: Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. I didn't watch this fight, but I was told that Talita dominated Vanessa and Vanessa couldn't do shit. I picked Vanessa because I honestly felt like this was gonna be a 50-50 like split decision situation. And usually if that's the case, they end up giving it to Vanessa. But this was not the case. Talita actually won. Okay, that's all. Let's move on to the next one. Guys, honestly, this is like, this was so bad. This was so bad. But anyways, Martin Buday versus Uran Satybaldiev. I picked Uran Satybaldiev because he kind of looked like a gangster, not gonna lie. But I don't know. It just seemed like he had some good combinations. I don't know, but he just couldn't seem to like do much. And I think also Martin Buday was just so large and big. I don't know. It really did feel like they were part of different weight classes. I don't know, man. Martin Buday won. Cool. Let's move on to the next one, right? Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. Pedro Falcao really tried, guys. He did. And it seemed that Victor Henry just showed up with like a fucking stack of Uno reverse cards behind him, because he just reversed everything that Pedro Falcao tried on the ground, did better on the feet. Just did better in every department. Solid performance. Solid win. Pedro tried though. He really tried. He got wobbled many times, but didn't get knocked out, so. Alright, let's move on to the next one, guys. Loma Lookboonmee versus Istela Nunes. I picked Istela Nunes because she looked more fit, to be honest. And it seemed to me that Istela Nunes won the first 2 rounds. She was seemingly, on top of Lookboonmee. Didn't really allow Lookboonmee to do much in those first 2 rounds, but I guess, like, Lookboonmee had a good 3rd round where she was the one on top. And I guess maybe she did a bit more damage. I have no idea. Honestly, it seemed like a bit of a robbery. Like, I really did feel like Istela Nunes won. Istela Nunes was also shocked at the end that she did not win. But, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be like that, I guess. It'd fucking be like that in the UFC. Let's move on to the next one. This was one of my favorite fights, because I picked Rhys Mckee just based off of the vibes. I told you guys Daniel Frunza looked fucking flabby at the weigh-in, and he kept fucking talking about his KO power. Oh, he hit so hard. Bro went in there and like just like didn't do shit. Got dropped 4 times in the first round. That fight had to get stopped. It was a doctor stoppage. Dude, that guy's lip was basically falling off of his face at the end of the first round. His eye was just completely like shutting. God, I can't imagine what he looks like now that like everything's swollen, and it's been a few hours. I don't know what it was about Rhys Mckee. Yeah, dude, I'm just like, this guy gave, who was it that fought last week's card? The big tanky black dude who fought the Mexican wannabe gangster dude. This gave the same vibes, kind of, you know what I mean? So that's why I was like, dude, I'm not making that mistake twice. I'm picking Rhys Mckee, because that's what we're doing. Anyways, that was a pretty good fight, actually. Not bad. Let's move on to the next one. Belbita versus Dione Barbosa. Yeah, I mean, Diana Belbita, she's just a girl. You know, she's just a girl. Dione Barbosa is closer to a man. Well, not exactly that, but to be honest, I just feel like a girl that styles her hair and paints her nails probably like won't be champion material. Like Diana Barbosa obviously has something to prove, you know what I mean? Like Barbosa just looked dominant from the get-go, got a submission very easily. Sorry, got got a takedown very easily, and I think it was an arm triangle that oh yes, she pinned her down. She pinned her. This is the part too. It's just like she literally just pinned her down at the chest, and Belbita couldn't do shit, and then Dione got the submission. So you know, like let's move on, guys. The main card was such trash. It was such trash. Anyways, let's discuss it. Torrez Finney versus Robert Valentin. Anyways, I actually picked Robert Valentin because I saw the two of them next to each other at the weigh-in / face-off, and I was like, dang. Valentin mostly wins by sub, so I felt like, okay, if we're gonna see grappling here, like I just feel like Finney is gonna be easy to submit. Like I feel like once he's on the ground and you're on top of him, like what's he gonna do? Like he just seems like the type of guy that, like, I don't know, like he's sure he's strong and maybe that's effective on the feet, but and this leads me to my next thought, like why he didn't do shit with his. Like I'm not even like I wouldn't even call that a takedown attempt. That was just him like grabbing onto Valentin's waist and pinning him against the cage so that he would run up the clock and like get his control time points. Like that is some women's MMA shit, bro. What the fuck? Dione Barbosa did more than you, bro. Come on, man. Anyways, he did that for 3 straight rounds. Like, even when he got fucking separated, he just fucking did the same shit again. Like, oh, I got separated. I'm gonna go do the same. I'm just gonna run into him. I'm just gonna run into him again and pin him to the cage. Hell yeah, that's how I'll win, bro. One of the judges gave Torrez Finney a fucking 30-27. Sorry, I gave Robert Valentin a 30-27. So, like, literally, the judge was thinking the same thing that I and the rest of you as well probably were, and it's just like, bro, come on, man. Like, you can't just do this for 3 straight rounds and think that this is okay. Like, how is this okay? Not, like, you're pinning down your opponent so that there's, like, I don't understand this. Like, there has to be a rule against this because you can't, like, I'm trying to find an analogy here. Like, honestly, it just kind of feels like winning a game of, like, ping pong or something by holding the fucking ball. Like, oh, yeah, sorry, you can't even return the ball because I have it. Like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to us? You know what I mean? Like, and then at the end too, he put his arms up like, oh man, oh, I hope I did enough to win that. Oh my god, dude, that entire fight was just him, pinning Robert Valentin down, by the hips and smelling his crotch. It be like that in 2025 in the UFC. It be like that. Let's move on to the next fight, guys. That was just like so embarrassing. Let's move on to the next one, guys. Osbourne versus Luis Gurule. As you guys remember, if you watched my live update, like live vibe pick video, Gurule, stay away. Stay away from Gurule. I don't know why he was such a huge favorite. I think that's actually, like, I ended up siding with him. But I told you guys, this feels like a 50-50 situation. And, like, I actually couldn't, like, I couldn't, I couldn't quite figure out the vibe. Gurule seemed a little bit weird. But then when I started, like, going on Tapology and seeing Osbourne's stats and checking Luis Gurule's stats, and I was like, dang, Osbourne's been losing a whole bunch. Gurule has a great record. Oh, maybe Gurule, like, since it's such a 50-50 for me, I'm gonna side with Gurule. Gurule fucking got KO. Dude, I think he's on pills. I think he's on antidepressants or some shit like this. Like, I don't know. He just seems like he's kind of out of it. He totally overestimated his skill set. Ode Osbourne just went in there looking like a fucking jitter freak. Like, he just drank, like, 3 cups of coffee, ready to go. And Luis Gurule looked like he just, you know, kind of got out of bed 30 minutes ago. Like, still asleep. I'm like, what? Yeah, Ode Osbourne got a solid KO on this dude. Caught him with a left hand, right? It was a left hand? Anyways, he corrected us. He corrected Bisping in the interview. Anyways, I think it was a left hand. It doesn't matter. Anyways, next fight, guys. Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. I picked Brad Tavares. He won. I honestly have a very, very limited recollection of this fight. I just remember, like, Gerald Meerschaert kind of has this, like, skittish vibe in the octagon. Like, I feel like he's one of these dudes that's just, like, afraid to go in. I don't know. I think Brad Tavares overall, from the limited information I remember, was landing the better shots. Initiating more strikes. Yeah, it'd be like that. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Cortavious Romulus versus Changho Lee. I picked Changho Lee, guys. Cortavious looked fucking freaky weird at the weigh-in. Gimmicky vibe. Could not pick him. And he looked a bit like a gimmicky fighter in there today, not gonna lie. There was one point where he was on Changho Lee's back, and I was like, oh shit, he got that position. But Changho Lee was kind of like squatted against the fence. But he just like I don't know, like I don't know what the plan was, because he kind of just lost grip and flipped forward. Like, I feel like that was just so poorly executed. I don't know. It looked extremely sloppy, not well thought through. Yeah, Changho Lee actually displayed some pretty solid grappling, you know? I love actually seeing technique that goes somewhere, not just pinning against the fence to fucking buy time. Oh my god. Anyways, so exhausting, guys. Jesus Christ, 6 hours. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Oh my god, to another one of these situations. Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. Okay, Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. Pat Sabatini pinned Joe Anderson Brito down to the canvas. Okay? For 3 rounds straight, he pinned him down to the canvas. He clasped onto one of his legs with his legs and basically just held him down whilst, like, getting these small little shots in on the side of Joe Anderson Brito's head. Joe Anderson Brito, like, the thing is, though, I picked Joe Anderson Brito because I figured that, like, I don't know, like, he'll probably be able to escape this situation at least a little bit. He did not even once escape, I don't think. I think it was literally just like 3, like, the round started off with them both on the feet, and like the minute Pat Sabatini took him down, it was basically over for Joe Anderson Brito and his chances. Yeah, Joe Anderson Brito just lay there and took it like a bitch. I thought there was going to be more here. I don't know. I thought that Joe Anderson Brito, I don't know. I thought we were going to see a little bit more. Like, Pat Sabatini also, like, didn't really do anything with the grappling. It's almost like he felt Joe Anderson Brito was not, what's the word for this in English? Он не сопротивлялся. And so he assumed that, like, oh, okay, well, this guy is not fighting back. I'm just going to lie here like a woman. Like, it's women's MMA. Since when are the fucking men fighting like women? What's going on here? What's going on? What's going on with the UFC? Anyways, this is the co-main event. Hold on a second. Like, why did the women fight better? I didn't see the first women's fight, but, like, yeah. Okay, let's move on, guys. let us move on to the main event. This was probably the most draining and exhausting main event I've ever watched in my life. This was like two men that both decided that they weren't gonna commit. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, Josh Emmett too. Like, I feel like he totally could have. Like, you know, it's crazy because he's 40 years old, and I expected him to kind of gasp, but he didn't. What he did instead was like he seemed super focused, but he never like quite got into the fucking mode. I don't know. I was like, oh shit, he's in the zone, but he wasn't really ever in the zone. Like. And Lerone Murphy just kind of was responding back to this situation. Didn't really do anything of his own. Did not get creative. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to defensively fight you so that I know that I'm getting more points than you. And we're going to drag this out for 25 minutes and really just bore everyone right now. We're going to do that because it's safe and it's the main event, brother. Come on, bro. So many of these fights just reminded me of like sparring. This one reminded, the main event was this fucking sparring match. Like, bro, main event was sparring. Luis Gurule looked like he never fought an actual fight in his life, like he's only sparred with people before. Brad Tavares, Gerald Meerschaert sparring. Man, yeah. And these were all the fight. These were the fights on the main event. Like, what? You know, like, what's going on? What's going on? To be fair, I know this was an Apex card, and I know the UFC sometimes likes to put their leftover fighters on cards like these. It's just so exhausting, and it makes me like hate MMA, which is sad. You know what I mean? It's the same vibe I had when I started doing graphic design. Like, I really like art. I really love to draw. I love to paint, and I love to create things with my hands. And going into graphic design made me hate that shit. So this is kind of how I've been like feeling about this. Is just like, why would you make us, why not have rules? I feel like there should be rules, right? Like, points taken away if you do said thing for too long. Or like, hey, if you got separated and you're diving into the same exact thing that you tried, that you've been doing that got you separated, like, maybe that gets you a point taken away. I don't know, something like this. Like, why? The theme of today's video is why. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. This is gonna be a very short recap because why are you even watching this recap? Oh my god. It be like this sometimes right before a big card and right after a big card. So next week we're getting UFC 314. I guess it should be good. I mean, I have hope for that. I have hope for that card. It seems solid. I always love to see Volkanovski on a card anyways, and it's been a while. Although I do think he's gonna lose, but that's beside the point. Yeah, I think we should establish some rules in the UFC, things you can and can't do. I think at least if you do what fucking Torrez Finney did, like, don't count that as a win and just count that as a disqualification. I know that's not a fun thing for people to get, but if the fight was that level of dog shit, it should receive a fucking dog shit result, which is a disqualification. Or not a disqualification, sorry, like a no contest, a fucking draw. Like, what was that? What was that? Obviously, one of the judges was fucking losing his mind too. He was like, I'm 30-27, fuck this. Anyways, guys, that's it. It's super late. This card started late. It was not worth it was not worth it. Although we had a pretty decent stream, so thank you everyone for joining. My cat decided to hang out. Well, my brother's cat technically. So that wasn't bad overall. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. It's a pretty short one. Honestly, I didn't really give you much of a recap, but rather I just kind of, I don't know, give you my thoughts on the situation. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it anyways. If you joined me on my stream, thank you for joining. My members, I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, at like 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll discuss everything else there. Okay? And for everyone else, I'll see you on Friday. Next Friday. I'll be somewhere else. I'll be in New York. So yeah. Anyways, it'll be a great time. It'll be a great time overall. I think UFC 314 will fucking redeem the nonsense that we have been experiencing. Anyways. I also just realized I could have been talking. Like, I should have hit the ball and then started talking, because now I have nothing to say, but actually, maybe that's not a bad thing because you get to enjoy the frequencies. Anyhow, I should have been using this little stick. Mallet? What is this, a mallet? I should have been using this the whole time as a little mic. Anyways. Doing my little rant with this bowl mallet. Anyways. I don't know. Is anyone even gonna watch this? I feel like I'm talking to the void. Hello? Hello? Is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I'll end this. The nonsense ends here. Goodbye. See you next time.